Good morning, Mr. Sajedi.
Good morning, Mr. Helmut.
It is Monday, 28th of October. On Friday night, Israel finally retaliated against the regime in Iran.
Yes.
They obviously destroyed the strategic goals, but they didn't attack the IRGC, obviously. No personnel of IRGC has been missing or announced dead.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think this strike was a limited strike, only targeting the batteries for the missiles and targeting drone factories and the defense system of the regime in Iran?
Well, we can find various factors in this field. First of all, we have to pay attention that the Israel has a style of work, and I think that it should be also be interpreted as an Israeli special style of work that always. In contrast with propagandas, tries to avoid to harm the civilians, the humans, and civilians. In this strike, if we can pay attention, we see that there was no casualties, no human casualties. I think that just two of the military servants of the regime and not the ordinary peoples. But I think that Israel has achieved already very big strategical achievements that and goals that I will explain. First of all, we have to note that, or maybe we can interpret that the second attack of Iran to Israel, that maybe we think that was about to retaliate the killing of Haniyeh 2 months after killing of Haniyeh in Iran, and 4 days after killing of Hezbollah leader and the other seniors, Hamas and leaders Hezbollah, was a retaliation of this assassination. But I think that we have to calculate another element is very important, and that's why the speech of Mr. Netanyahu just 1 or 2 days before this attack. Actually, I think that the Iran have I mean that the Islamic Republic of Iran, the leaders were 2 months in doubt that if they had to respond to the procedure of Israel, and there was too many demands from its proxies and from its supporters, its fans inside and outside the country. But they rationally avoided to do this. But when Mr. Netanyahu, the prime minister, made his special speech and addressed the Iranian people, they decided to make this pre-planned operation. The Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, addressed the people of Iran in this speech, constructing the Iranian regime's priorities with the needs of the Iranian people and their aspirations. Of the citizens. He criticized actually the policy of the regime, and apparently and obviously said that we will help to Iranian people to be free, and we will bring the freedom for the Iranian people, and the Israeli people, the Israeli people and government stand along and aside with the Iranian people in their struggle against their common enemy. It's very important message because the regime then felt that it could be an alliance between the Iranian people and the Israeli, and because they have the same benefits and same interests and same goals, and it's very dangerous. Then the regime has to fight with two enemies outside and inside of the country. And I think that the long-term strategy of the Israelis is based on this element, that they want rather to support the Iranian people rather than direct conflict for regime. Anyhow, we know that, and we are sure that the regime of Iran, more than a security danger for Israel, is an existential danger for Israel, because they want to uproot the Israeli and the Jewish, according to their propaganda and according to the official statements we have heard too many times from the leaders and from the presidents and from the parliament members, that even they have made a chronological chronological program to uproot and to disappearing the Israel country and official member state of the United Nations. That's why the Israel feels an existential danger and threat from the side of the Iranian regime, and in this way, the best method is to make bold and to help the Iranian people in their struggle to overthrow the regime. I thought that the Israeli waits to coming the November, because in November there is two big happening, and one of them is the anniversary of the massacre and blood massacre of the Iranian people. If you remember, few years ago, anniversary of this killing, but the Iran by arranging the 7 October attack to Israel, tried to turn all eyes from the Iran to Gaza, and this very important issue be neglected, and lose its priority around the world. And now the Israeli waits that maybe the Iranian people come to the street once again, and then in this uprising, the Israeli will target the goals and military and also political targets in Iran to support the Iranian people. Another element that we have to count is the United States election. Anyhow, for Israel, it's very important to have the support of the United States. Is very important at this time for unknown reasons, or for the reasons that I cannot explain here. The Biden administration's exercises and pro-Iranian regime policy that gives privileges to Iran regime that gives them a space to breathe more and gives them a space to act. And I don't know why. Maybe they want to make a balance in the Middle East. Maybe anyhow, because the United States during the Democrats has the same history, has the same records of this such procedure. But I think that Mr. Netanyahu waits for the US election, but I'm sure that his strategy during the period between election and 1st January, which the new administration will go to the White House, does not change, because anyhow he has to be sure that the new U.S. administration will be in full accordance with the Israeli procedure and policies. And this is the second element that we have to note. Anyhow, if in some we have to consider that there are two big elements. One of them, the Iranian people want that what they want to do, and another is the U.S. election in November 5.
Yes. So what exactly do you think is the strategic achievement of this last attack?
We have heard that during this attack, more than 20 military goals were targeted. But we have heard also that 150 fighters, Israeli fighters, took part in this attack. So 140 to 150 airplanes targeting two goals, 20 goals is not, the portion is not logic. It means that the rest of these airplanes, I mean that maybe for 20 goals, 20 airplane or 25 airplanes were sufficient usually. I am not, of course, I'm military analyst, but I think that usually even 10 airplanes can attack to 20 goals or 25 goals in their attack. But we have heard that 140 airplanes took part in this attack, in this military operation. So we can assume that the Israeli has to make a full, I mean that screening about the possible targets, not just the military, all the possible targets.
So you say they gained some intelligence about some strategic goals for the future in Iran.
We have to attention that some of Iran base, missile base, they are under the ground, and they need some screening by the airplane. Until now, there was no chance to do this, but now the Iran has given this chance to Israel, and the Israeli airplanes, they were at the air of the Iran, at the territory of the Iran, for more than 3 hours, and there was no reaction about this. So we can assume that they have screened all the possible and needed targets under the ground and on the ground. The other achievement is the destroying of at least four S-400 air defense systems. That was actually the main Iranian air defense systems, was about very, very expensive from the Russia, and one of them was already destroyed during the attack to Isfahan. I think that 2 months ago, if you remember, this was a response to the first Iran operation against Israel, and then the Israel said that this is a warning. This should be a warning for the Iranian regime that we can do everything. And now they have realized, they promised, and they have destroyed the other four S-400s, and Iran has nothing. Now that Iran has defenseless, Iran cannot in the air, and we know that the Israeli army is strategically an air force army, and maybe the most powerful air force army in the Middle East. And now we can say that the Iran has nothing to do, and Israeli has also claimed that the rest of the missiles also are they are destructed, they are destroyed, and maybe Iran has nothing to do more with the missiles. We have to
the missiles. You talk about missiles.
Missiles, yes, and we have to wait and see that if they can use their drones and missiles once again, or they are using their another strategy, using their proxies for assassinating the civilians in Israel, which are usually their usual strategy of Iran also. And we saw that immediately after this attack, one bus drive directly to a bus halt in
truck.
Aviv.
A truck hit the bus, and the bus
truck,
stopped.
sorry, yes, not bus, truck, yes. And I think that 35 people were injured seriously. So it can, and the police has officially announced announced it as a terrorist attack.
Yes. So this would be my last question to this topic. So this is exactly what I was going to ask you about. So you consider that the regime in Iran will advise its proxies to to choose this path of retaliation by terrorist attacks all over the world. Because in Chicago, a Jew was shot. Maybe it's connected to this event, maybe not. We don't know yet. But this kind of things might happen more often now, right?
This is a possibility, but I think that there would be an discussion and dispute in Iranian flanks within the government to do it or not to do, because from other side, I think that the United States has tried to limit the escalation, and I mean that the reformists in Iran try to also observe and respect to this limit and not show very hard response to stop the escalation. And at this point, it's possible. But from other side, we have to consider that Iran has for more than 20 years arranged and financed the terror cells within the free countries for these days, that to make the free countries busy with these terror cells. And maybe it's possible that Iran use now these cells to make the European and United States, European countries and United States to make pressure on Israel to make it, I mean,
to stop them.
Stop or limited action. But anyhow, what has Israel done? She has made a big screening from the country, from all the possibilities of the regime. And I think that just there is a very small uprising from the people to attract the Air Force support from the Israel for the last strike.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sajedi, for your evaluation of the situation, of the current situation between Israel and Iran. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hollywood.